man. Say, man, y'all already know who it is. Pull up like money, get money. We ain't never slumming. On God. Hey, man, say, man, what's going on, YouTube family? And all my lovely subscribers and followers. What's going on, man? Y'all already know who it is. It's your boy Justin, owner of Justin's Boat Trash Mobile, or musically known as J Suave. Today, you guys, as you see right here, I have my scrap metal trailer right here. And once I dump this one, I'm gonna start on, this is originally my scrap metal trailer, but we just use this one to improvise for time. So this usually is gonna be one of my trash bins, and we're gonna start loading the metal back up in there. But today, I'm going to be doing a thorough step-by-step video on how to load the roll-off onto the roll-off trailer. How to basically load the bins onto the trailer. And I'll be explaining what you need to look out for, you know, things of that nature. So you guys are in for a little treat. If anybody's interested in actually buying a roll-off or a roll-off setup, and, you know, you just have any questions or might be a little worried, or, you know, I mean, there's plenty of videos out on YouTube already, but you'll just get one from me if guys like watching my channel, all right? So you guys stay tuned. So first thing, guys, what you're gonna wanna do is take your straps and you wanna secure your load first, you know what I'm saying? Get your straps. And I say for a load about this, to be safe, I use about 4 straps. You know, check your load out. Probably for this front half right here, hook, and lock all this stuff down in the front. Lock it back. Then throw the next 3. Done one about here midway. Strap it down. One right over this little midsection. One right here. Even though most of this stuff is down inside, it'll just make me feel more secure. So 4 straps. You can probably get away with 3 if you have mostly everything flush and inside right here, or maybe sticking up just a little bit. But by me having a load and things in the air, you just want, the more straps the better. It's just more safe. You're being more precautious, and you have less room for anything to try to come off, you know? And we don't need that, you guys, right? So after, that's the first thing. And I'm gonna set the tripod up in a second to show you guys that. After that, then you will see me straighten this trailer and back up. And we're gonna line that up. And then I'll explain the whole process of how it has to be lined up, you know, and whatnot. So you guys stay tuned for that. All right, you guys, as you see, I have my straps here. I have 4 cranks and I have 4 straps, you know, handles to tighten the straps onto the load to make sure it's secure. So as you can see, I don't have like the real skinny ones. These are about 2 inches. The 2-inch thick straps, 2-inch wide straps. And these have a loading capacity of 1,000 max, 1,000 pound max work rating, you know. So this is more than secure enough to hold this load down, just, you know, from little bumps and stuff while you're taking it down the road. And, you know, excuse me for stepping out of the camera if I did. Making sure that nothing is going to come loose. And, you know, every so often, just check a double time, you know, check twice before you head out on the road. You know, maybe a few minutes down the road, just check all the straps, make sure that they're good. Pull over in a parking lot, things of that nature. And it's up to you if you want to pull over a second time before you get to your destination. But it's not like we going on the road, and we're not going to be driving for like an hour plus, you know. So if you check it one good time and the drive is within 30 minutes, you should be good if they're still tight. All right, so just wanted to show you, these are the straps I'm using. All righty. Oh, also another thing too, guys, to keep in mind, you want to always keep your cranks, if possible, on the driver's side. That way you can always watch and see if you see anything start to fall, or if it looks like one of the straps is going to loosen up, or you know, it's easier to monitor as opposed to the passenger side, where you might not be able to see if something loosens up, as opposed to your driver's side, because everything is going to be aligned, you know, right there with you, and you can just glance over and look back every so often. Just something to keep in mind. remind you guys too, you want to always put your strap in like a belt. Have your crank, this part facing you, then put it through the middle. You want to come back up right here. Once you put it through the middle, come back up. And get ready to strap it. Pull the slack up, pull all the tension, get it real nice and tight, and then start the crank. And then you can just take a little bit of your strap and tie it off, or drop it down in the bin, whatever works for you. I'm a little lazy, like I'm trying to do right now. No, I'm tired. Just wrap it a couple times. Then come back through. Also, guys, too, sometimes you want to make sure you don't get too many nicks and cuts in your straps, because then what you have to do to end up not working as well. And I have like minor little snips. They ain't necessarily a real tear yet, like a cut or a tear. It's just like you can see the threads starting to loosen some, so I can still get a good use out of this strap right here. But sometimes, like I see a lot of hotshot guys do, the hotshot trucking, things like this, not necessarily right here, but if you ever get something where it might be leaning against a sharp edge, or something like a nail or screw or anything sharp that could be sticking out, and potentially cut the strap, you can get corner protectors. And you can maybe like lay a corner protector. Let's say I had something sharp here and you didn't want to damage the strap, you can put a corner protector here, and that way it'll protect the load. So like I say, I got mine right here holding everything down, this force part. And then I'm gonna get ready to start doing like over the top, and I'll show you each section when I'm done. So just something to keep in mind. You can get corner protectors so you don't damage the strap. Let's see. Bad throw, you guys. Let's go. Try to get most of the slack up. Beautiful, baby. Beautiful. Beautiful, baby. Dang.
What was that?
That would make sense, right? Just bring them all over there with me so I don't have to keep coming back and forth. Thanks, Justin. Done. So you guys, as you can see, I got 4 straps running down. I'm going to show you how I did it. So right here, I hooked them on these little like hooks, little eyelets, and I turned it this way so it could be secured, as opposed to me trying to like flip it and hook it, and by the time I walk over there, it falls off. Excuse me. So I got this one right here running through, holding this load down like this. And bam, nice and tight. See that? Nice and tight. That's how you want to check your straps. Not a lot of resistance. I mean, it's resistance to it, so that way it's not loose. Got this one right here. Got this one over here, going over this pile. This one right here going over the middle. Over, holding that load, this section of the load down. And all I really was focused on right here, I hooked this one right here under this lip. I just wanted to hold this down. And I got a little lazy. And like told us, I just threw this access down in here so the wind ain't gonna pick that up. So it's too deep in there. And this is what I meant by like a corner protector. If you didn't want to like necessarily mess your crank up, I could have had a corner protector here as I started to crank down, but it's getting scrapped and this metal just digging in the metal. So, but this is a perfect example of what I mean. You can get a corner protector for stuff like this. And I would definitely invest and get some from Amazon. See how this is sitting up on here? You hitting bumps, you don't want this to move around or nothing. So I threw a strap and I got both of them right here on the top parts, and I pulled the access. Nice and tight, guys. And sometimes I see the hot guys, shot guys, like I watch, like shout out to the dude I watch online, Hot Shot Benny, him and his pops. They say it's not bad if you get like little twists in your straps like this. Like little twists, nothing too serious. Little twists and stuff. Because they say it helps with the straps not loosening up when you hit bumps. And I've actually tried it one time, and I noticed when I took a load down with a few little twists in the straps, they actually held pretty good and they didn't loosen up. You know, so just a little thing if you guys have never known. It won't hurt the load if they're not all perfectly straight. As long as your straps are secured, they're in good tie down points, and you got it cranked tight, and you lock your cranks down. Always, always, always make sure all of these are down, not still up like that. Want them down. In a down position, a lock position. Down. You see what I'm saying? Then we're good to go. Nothing's coming off. Nothing. Nada. All right, guys. Stay tuned. So, you guys, what I do is I go ahead and take my controller out that operates, you know, the lift and raise the trailer. So what I do is go ahead and set these arms, and I raise them all the way up first, so that way when I go to back up, I can pretty much line the trailer up right here, because it's got to match. It's got to sit right on the outside of this where these wheels, where this will line up right on the inside, and you guys will see this has to line up on the inside of those grooves on both sides. And just like the other side, you'll see once I back up, it has to sit on this corner where this, everything's on the inside, where once you go ahead and hook your winch cable up, it pulls everything straight up. So something to do as far as raising and getting ready to have the pump right here and raise this hoist up. Also don't forget to have your winch controller already hooked up. This is Smitty Bell 17,500 gross weight. Had your power switch on and already had this plugged in. And what I like to do is keep it out the way, you know, so, and then just put the access down there and it won't fall off once you stretch it out. And then start to raise this. Oh yeah, this is a power up, power down trailer. If you don't hear, if it's not making a noise, if it's making like a like it's like air or something, or like you don't hear the hydraulic fluid, not air, but like you don't hear the hydraulic fluid going through the lines, don't stop, because what will happen is once this starts to, it'll build up too fast in here, and it'll cause this to just burst and come out everywhere, make a mess. The pressure, the air pressure is going to build up in there, trying to come back into this reservoir right here, and it'll make a mess. That's why you see we have paper towels down there, because we've had to wipe this out twice before. So you guys, keep in mind, if you have a power up, power down trailer, always listen for the noise kicking in from this controller while you're raising the hoist up to lift this trailer up in the air. And you don't ever want your two guides on the back where the rollers are gonna come up on the trailer. You don't ever want your two, what are we gonna call them? Like your two, your feet. You don't ever want them to touch all the way on the ground. I can't think of the proper name, guys, forgive me, but you don't ever want your two arms, feet, whatever you want to call them, touching all the way on the ground. You just want to get them high enough to where you can guide and line them up. So I'll show you what I mean in a second. Like this should be good. Basically, you don't want, ouch, ooh. You don't ever want this. You don't ever want that dragging on the ground. Raise it up a little bit more. let's get ready to back up. So you guys, I'm getting ready to move the camera closer now. Getting ready to move it up so you guys can see what I'm getting ready to do back here. I'm damn near on the money. All I gotta do is winch the cable out, hook it up to the little hook. Then I'm gonna cut my wheels slightly and let the trailer just cut into the left side. It'll straighten itself out. Then you guys will see me pull it on up. And we good. All right, you guys. So, excuse me. Pretty much on the money. This side is lined up and that side, so I just need to cut this in a little bit more. So I'm gonna cut my wheels to the right by being a trailer, so it'll cut to the left some more, and the trailer will straighten itself out. That way it'll be right on the money. So you guys watch. So when you take your controller, go ahead and let it out some. You want to try to keep a little tension on it while you're letting it out. You should be wearing gloves with this due to frays to cut the hell out of your hand. So please forgive me. I should have gloves on, but little frays in the metal will cut the shit out of your hand. This should be good. Truck's in park with the parking brake on. Get ready. And I personally always hook mine with this hook right here onto this. Always hook it upside down like this so it'll last easy. Take your time, you don't want to hurt yourself. Pull it in a little bit. Keep a little slapping and dude, you still backing up. It's good. I'm gonna raise this down a little bit more, but I've gotten it straight now. I'm gonna raise it down some to the part where when these wheels finally start to roll up here, it'll line on up. But you can keep the truck in neutral if you have two people. Be doing myself with park. By me having the truck in park and I'm by myself, I'm gonna keep the truck in park with the parking brake on for safety. But neutral, what that does is allow the truck and the trailer to roll freely. As this is pulling it up, it's just working with the weight. It's backing right underneath it. But I'm by myself, so don't keep your truck in neutral by yourself. I wouldn't do it. Go, let's get ready to pull her ass on up. Oh, notice too, forgot to tell you guys. I have it sitting on a block of wood, so that way when I go to line it up, it's not like the winch has to work harder to pick up and then lift, you know. Let me show you. You guys can't see it. I have all of my bins sitting on a block of wood like this. So that way, this winch doesn't have to work harder trying to lift up, then pull it onto. It'll just pull it straight on up, you get it? So by sitting already up in the air, it doesn't have to lift up and then pull on. It just pulls straight onto the trailer. No lifting up, and it takes less stress off on the winch, the cable pulling it up. So something to keep in mind. You see my bins, they all have a block of wood going underneath them. They all sitting on blocks of wood. Just wanted to show you guys that. All right, you guys, you ready to pull it all up now? Now you see how that sides up a little bit? I'm getting ready to raise it down. Also, if you get it straight the first time, you don't really have to worry about the truck so much being in neutral because it's going to pull it right on up. You don't have to worry about it getting pinched right in between the corners of these rails. I just now thought of it, the rails, that's what it's called. You don't have to worry about it getting pinched in between the rails and you having to adjust the trailer to try and make it, you know. Sometimes if it gets pinched, it'll straighten itself out. As long as it's never hanging over the rail, you're good. Start to pull it lower. I got a little plate right here on mine. Let's see if it's gonna fall back in. So I'm gonna straighten up. I'm gonna have to straighten up to the fall. Let me show you guys what I'm talking about now. Get right up on it. Cause it just happened to me, and you see how the bend now is starting to raise some. It's not falling right down in here. So what I'm going to do is straighten up and pull out and let this back end right here, we're starting to raise, fall down inside the hatch, fall down inside the rail, because it's already inside on the other side. So stay tuned, you guys. You guys, I'm definitely going to have to put a filter on this to brighten this up, because I have a camera with a light and my flash is on, but it's still dark. So you guys can get the gist. And you always want to have this back, this latch, and have it unlocked and open. That way when it's ready, it'll go ahead and clamp on down into it. Have that, go right there, have that work. Lock that back on. I'll show you guys what I'm done. Drop it all the way down. That little tension on. And that's how you do it. And the safety chain on. Let me show you guys now. It's dark. My apologies. So as you guys can see now, the hook's on, it's locked. I went ahead and first and I had pulled this back and I locked it in here and let it loose. So that way the handle, this part, the handle sat back. And then once it came in, it's right underneath. And then once I pushed it forward, once I pushed this forward, it locked it in. See that? See how it's not coming over? And you always want your safety chain. Hook your safety chain up too. See how everything's nice and neat inside of the rails? Nothing's coming out. Yep, I'm still doing my video. See how everything's nice and neat? See how everything's inside the rails? So, I'm definitely gonna have to put, oh yeah, and you always wanna make sure this is all the way down too. So, definitely always make sure this is touching flush against the trailer. It don't hurt, just double tap. Make sure. Then you take this, go ahead and take your winch controller out, wrap it back up, turn the switch off, then roll this back up, and then you're done, man. And once again, I'm sorry the darkness caught you, but I'm definitely gonna lighten this up for you guys some. And that is how you load a roll-off bin onto a trailer. In the dark, by yourself, no mess ups. Bam. You guys, I just thought of something so important that I already knew was already taken care of, but I forgot to tell you guys. Always, always, always check before you even go to load a roll-off bin. Always make sure your door is completely secured and locked. The hooks are on, the clamp. This latches down inside of here. And then they're both locked in these crevices and these grooves right here. 1 and 2 if you had this type style door. Always, always, always double check this. And definitely make sure they're locked, because sometimes you'll think the door's locked and this part right here will be right here on the outside, and you'll wonder why, and it'll be a big gap right here and it'll catch. I forgot to tell you guys that. Always double check before you go to load anything. Before you even start strapping, check that first. Then go through all the steps, because Lord knows you don't want to make a mess. You don't want shit coming falling out, flying out, and you're gonna have a bad day. Because trust me, it's been times myself when we got lucky and we got to be able to close the door, and we had to like fight like you know what to get that door to close, because there was so much weight and it made tension against the doors, me trying to fight against all the weight in there. And we got it, but one of us, it had to take like 2 people. One person had to be sitting here putting all their body weight against the door, leaning on it, while somebody was sitting here locking this in. And trust me, we was fighting like hell with the door. We won, but we was tired afterwards. So I just wanted to let you guys know that. And technically for me, this is always my last step, but I always advise, lock your box when you're done. You don't need anybody trying to mess around and tamper. I mean, you guys don't have to do it, but I just like to be better safe than sorry. So always, you know, lock your box. That's the last step. All right, guys, so what he's getting ready to do now, he's getting ready to hook this controller. This is what operates the winch. That yellow controller is what operates lifting the hoist to raise this up and down for the dump. You're gonna pull this back like I say. I know you guys can see that last time. Then you're gonna take the safety chain off and latch that right back here on this little clip. Now, all that's disconnected. Let me close this door, that's driving me crazy. Hold on. I might have to pull the truck up in a second, you guys, depending on how far this rolls back. So you see he's raising it up now. I'll work it with you. I'm gonna let out on this side. See how those wheels are touching the ground already? That's what you want. Then it'll start to roll itself some once I start to let it out. Get a good pitch on it. All right. And you see how the rail almost touching the ground? 1 second. I gotta pull the truck up a little bit. Right
Right down up under here is a board. You're gonna see when you pull forward a little bit. Now go on the other side and push that board over a little bit.
Safety thing, guys, don't ever just stick your hand under there. There's something like you see right here. There's something to use to move a piece of block of wood or whatnot.
That's good. That's good. Now raise on up. Sit right down on it. Perfect. Perfect. Let it on up. Okay. That's good. Now, pull forward a little bit. Ease it forward. That's good. That's good. You gotta unhook it.
And last but not least, you guys, you want to unhook that, and you're done. Like I say, like I was trying to show you guys last night with the block of wood, it helps when you're going to unload and when you're going to pick it back up, so that way you don't have to lift up and then try to pull up onto the rails. It'll just guide it right up to the rails by sitting in the air already. So there you go. Hey man, say man, y'all already know who it is. Pull up like money, get money. We ain't never slumming. On God.